Northeast United have been pretty solid defensively as well. Conceded only 5 in the 10 games they've played. And this is how they start this fixture. Rohin, Saurav, Shubham Punia, Zahan, Henry, Roshan, Gangte, Gunleba, Toiba Singh, Mate, and Lalrin Fela Ralte. Those starting out of the bench: Malsom Luanga, Laling Keta, Wan Lal Chunga, Miran, Semthang, Hang Singh, and Aryan. It's a pretty solid side, solid starting 11 they've got. And of course, the likes of Malsom Luanga, beg your pardon, starting this game from the bench adds a lot of value to their entire unit. For Jamshedpur FC, Rita Brata Sarkar starts in between the sticks. Akyansa Meiti, Ryan, Satyajit Das, Alvin, Shomik, Gopal, Seram. It's a very good side as well. They've been plundering goals in the group stage, scored as many as 37. On the flip side, in terms of their defensive prowess, conceded 12 from the 10 games they played. And finished second in the very first round of the competition. An extra days in the competition and play the playoffs. Where they beat Mumbai City FC 4-0 and had a drawn game against Football for Change, wherein they scored twice but conceded 2 goals in the process. And off we go here at the IGAS. Northeast United going from left to right on your screens. Tempo is pretty straightforward. They would want to make sure they attack and straight away getting it inside the box. And the idea was right to get the cross in, still with Northeast United. Just knocks it back. And just the sort of start Northeast United would have wanted. And making those early inroads in the opposition box. The flag was up straight away. Good start to the contest, a good start to the game. Gunleba, Gangte, Roshan all have to come good in this fixture. They've been plundering goals left, right, and centre. And both these sides had a very decent RFDL campaign as well. Concluded last month. Right, has got some space to work with. Gangte takes it away. He's got options towards the left as well. Again, not the decisive ball. It's Roshan goes to find Shubham Punia. Started with the back three. Roshan Chetri, Saurav Pradhan, Shubham. Here's Mate. Was dropping in deep. Acres of space to try and get the ball back. Here's Jamshedpur. Sachin Singh leading the line along with Hirangba and Lal Samzwala. Here's Jamshedpur. Wasn't allowed to turn there. And does well. Shows your perseverance. Gets the possession back. There's Jamshedpur. That's poorly given away. A decent first touch. Here's trying a bit of a give and go here. Northeast United. Lalrin Fela doubling up on the numbers just outside the box. Not allowing that space to have a crack. And there you have it. Don't stay open is a shout from the touchline. And Shakti Singh, the head coach of Jamshedpur FC. His opposite number, Suhail Nair, with a wealth of experience. And trying to play out from the back. He's under pressure. Handball was a shout. Here's Gunleba now. He could be a dangerous prospect inside the box. Kunleba squares it up, finds a white shirt, puts it behind for a corner. First of the game going Northeast United FC's way. And that could have been pretty dangerous. He was waiting for the ball to arrive. Right, first corner of the first half. 4 minutes on the clock. Northeast United would want to make the most of it and targets the back post. Kunleba retrieves it, gets it back into the shape, pushes it further behind. He's trying for a lock ball inside the final third. Here's JAMSHEDPUR. Gets the possession back. From their perspective, they want to see as much of the ball as they possibly can. They've managed to get into the final third a couple of times, Northeast United. Tries to lift it over. There's Shubham Punia, who decides going all the way back towards the goalkeeper was the best possible option. Handball was the shout. Here's JAMSHEDPUR now on the ascendancy. Again, not allowed to take a strike at the target. And forced to push back, plays down the line and draws in a clearance. And 5 minutes into the first half. Deadlock yet to be broken. Northeast United coming close on a couple of times. Yes, Northeast United meanwhile, can they try and bring it forward, taking a couple of steps forward and then decides to shoot from way outside the box. Has that taken something on the way through? It's going to be a goal kick for Ripabrata Sarkar. Here's JAMSHEDPUR, and again Kangte almost won it there. Here's JAMSHEDPUR meanwhile trying to go towards the other side. Here's JAMSHEDPUR with a lot of space in front of him. He's got options towards the left, decides to go with one. Out ball was the shout, and it was definitely out of the play area for a throw-in. That is something they'll have to try and keep doing, JAMSHEDPUR FC. Whenever they get the chance, try and bring it forward. And still early days, just 6 minutes into the game. And it's going to be all about the nerves. JAMSHEDPUR played the semi-finals of the Reliance Foundation Development League. Here's Kunleba now, one-on-one from the right. I guess dispossessed. And trying to mark out the man making that run forward. Doubling or tripling up on the numbers. They've been pretty disciplined. No, the balls have come inside the final third towards JAMSHEDPUR. They haven't panicked. Here's Northeast United meanwhile. Another attempt to lob one forward. Here's JAMSHEDPUR FC in space ahead and drills one through and swept away by Shubham Punia. Good defending. And that's going to be the first corner for JAMSHEDPUR FC. And their first real attempt to try and put some pressure on that back line and the goalkeeper. Lamsangzwala will be the man. Can he provide that one telling delivery? A ball that can make all the difference in this all-important quarterfinal. Decides to keep it short. He has a crack at it. Goes well over the target. Satyajit Das was the man with that shot. There's Roshan. Goes airborne. Here's JAMSHEDPUR. Was Ryan. Played that through ball. Here's Northeast United. Meanwhile, trying to bring it up towards the other side. Here's Zahan making that run. And the goalkeeper equal to the task. Saw it early. Came off his lines and made sure he got the ball in the end. Here's Satyajit Das. Pushes it forward. Still. And there you have the press from Northeast United. Closing down the defenders there. Making sure they get the possession back. Here's Northeast United. Zahan. Stay on him was a shout, and Shwaikum Toiba, Lauren Fela and Kunleba, the front three for Northeast United. Very potent, very capable of striking those early blows for the boys in red. It's a free kick for Northeast. Puts it down and squares it towards the other side. A header! That was a glorious opportunity. It was a training ground stuff. It was Shubham Punia who was marching in from the back post. It was lobbed, hung in the air perfectly. Had he given proper direction to that one, would have made things really interesting inside the first 11 minutes. Lal Samswala. It's been a fiery start from Northeast United FC. They've controlled the game beautifully. Everything has gone right except the finishing. And that is definitely one of the areas they would want to make sure they try and improve on as we go deeper into the contest. And on the flip side, we haven't seen that link up between the back line and the midfield for JAMSHEDPUR FC. Here's Northeast United with another of their attacks. Marching forward this time from the left. Has got Gunleba waiting inside, just outside the box rather. Zahan pushes it back towards Gangte. He's got the help arriving from Roshan. Still Roshan. Chips it over. The target was Zahan. Here's Zahan now into the action. He's trying a bit of a give and go there with Toiba Singh. Here's Roshan. He's under pressure momentarily. All the action has been on just one side of the pitch so far in the first 12 minutes. He's managed to get it through and out of nothing there.
Show for the ball. Your job is to show for the ball. The wingers will run.
There's Roshan. Saurav Pradhan. Shubham Punia lost that one in the air for the run to arrive from Lal Ranfela. They're stuck up with the strategy to try and play out from the back. JAMSHEDPUR FC, it hasn't quite worked so far for them.
This is the thing where 74, if he goes all the way in, our midfielder
Here's Hirangbam.
needs to just jog, but if the 74 goes that deep, our midfielder has to push on the 74. This is what we need to work on next year. All that was played into Punia, we always try
Can have very interesting insights coming in from the touchline there. And the point of discussion is Alvin Nishan is playing in the midfield for Jamshedpur FC. Here's Northeast United in marching forward. A sea of reds on the attack. Decides to take a shot from the distance, but that was struck straight towards Rita Brata Sarkar. Here's Lalran Fela Ralte. Probably would like to think he struck it way too early, especially when he had options. Could have tried and picked out a pass there.
Close inside.
We've got Ralte towards the left. Zahan, who's playing through the centre. Gunleba operating more from the right in the first quarter here. There's Roshan. Gentle push forward. Here's Gunleba into the action again. Here's Gunleba from the right. Gets the cross in, but gets the block. Good defending from Satyajit Das. Again, very well worked out.
He's run for four times he's run. They've not played him. Now he will be tired.
Henry, ball side. Henry, where is the ball? Bye, close. Close, more close.
Pretty good start to this quarter-final number 3. And there's Northeast United with their second corner of the first half. Decides to keep it short. Here's Ralte again. Chips it over towards the back post. Missed by everybody. And still with Northeast. Here's Gangte. He gets it inside the box. Tries it the first time. And goes wide of the target. And that's Northeast United FC bench. They've been held in their tracks. Jamshedpur FC haven't been allowed any sniff to march forward. You can see the press coming in from the likes of Gunleba from the right and Ralte from the left side. Here's Hirangba. Dropped in pretty deep. Couldn't quite get the service. We haven't seen the likes of Sachin Singh, Hirangba, Lal Samzwala involved much in the first 16-17 minutes here. Hasn't been put to scale as yet. Rohan Narangbam in between the sticks for Northeast United. Pull back from the challenge there, Gunleba. This is quarter-final number 3 for all the viewers who are just joining in. Game being played between Northeast United FC and Jamshedpur Football Club. And then the next one at 3:30 p.m. today. It's a double header. Muthu Defi will take on FC Madras in the 4th quarter-final. Remember, we had a couple of games the other day wherein AIFF FIFA Talent Academy took on Mohan Bagan Supergiant. FIFA Talent Academy coming out triumphs by 5-0 and FC Punjab getting the job done against Bengal Football Academy. Those two teams play in the first quarter semi-finals. While is Gunleba into the action once again, one-on-one with Satyajit Das, and gets it inside the box, decides to take the shot, but it's a good block. Looks like it's Ronaldo Singh, the skipper, who's managed to put his body behind the ball. Here's Gangte. Toiba Singh Back with Toiba. Shifts the play towards Gunleba once again. A very good first touch. One-on-one with Satyajit again inside the box. Decides to backheel it. And clear away quite comfortably in the end. Not quite sure Roshan Chetri was anticipating a backheel.
शुभम थोड़ा और क्लोज कर दे बहुत गैप है बीच में अभी बॉल यूज कर दो खड़ा रहे शाबाश मूव बैक ड्रॉप बैक
And performing his defensive duties quite well there. And Shaikum Toiba Singh not allowing Lasamzwala to get away with it.
सेंटर बैक Bella where are you come inside
Right, 20 minutes into the first half. No goals in the game so far. Northeast United FC have come close a couple of times, but have lacked that finishing touch. JAMSHEDPUR FC, nothing substantial from their perspective so far. Yet to see the best of Lal Sangzwala. He's had a very good campaign at the RFDL this season.
Gante 74 Gante 74 Zan go Gante stronger on the 74
That is something they've done consistently right throughout the 20 minutes. Northeast United have won the ball back with ease. Here's Lal Sangzwala. Pushes it towards the left. And Roshan Chetri wins the ball quite comfortably. Here's beautifully taken, and that first touch letting him down. Ralte. And then it's just been the order of the day. There's Gunleba. Turns and decides to shoot first time. Pushes back. Kangte goes further back. There's a sort of Roshan. Some space ahead. Looks up for options. Doesn't find any. Has to go back towards sort of Pradhan. Switch is the shout, but he decides against it. Goes straight down the line. Shaikum Toiba Singh. Here's Ralte. Shaikum. Kangte couldn't quite unleash, and before he could get to the end of it, there was a clearance coming in from a white shirt just outside the box. Mate. Looks like there was a shove from the back, and that's going to be a free kick. Right, who's it going to be? Mate or Kangte? And both are pretty much capable. Push bodies forward here. Will he try and pick out a pass, or will he try and go for the target? Decides to go through with the shot, and this was definitely in the range for Kangte. Goes just over. Hasn't been enough of attacking threat coming in from JAMSHEDPUR so far. Alvin has found himself some space, and again couldn't quite keep hold of the ball. Here's Mate. got numerical advantage in the middle of the park, but hasn't played to their best, rather. As Rohan. Roshan finds a red shirt, hurls it forward towards Gunleba. Sana.
Rohan, every time we are putting ourselves under pressure when you have the ball. Quicker, move it a little bit quicker. Pressure.
Here's Jamshedpur once again sticking to that strategy of trying to play out from the back. Again, that ball given away far too cheaply. Hasn't been their attacking threat right throughout the first 25 minutes. And that has to swiftly change because the way Northeast United are coming forward, they are looking more like scoring. That could have been a decisive ball from Lal Sungswala. Here's Mate showing his physicality against Lal Sungswala. Go fella was a shout. Go airborne towards the far left. Just before fella could get to the end of it. Cleared out by Shomik Das with utmost ease. Here's Mate. Finds Gunleba. Couldn't quite keep it in. And that has been the ploy from Northeast United so far. Try and win the ball in the middle. And try and find either Gunleba or Fela. Still Fela. Brilliant footwork. Works it out for Roshan. Smashed forward. Doesn't find an option. Decides to go towards Saurav Pradhan. Here's Shubham. Back with Roshan Chetri. Still Roshan. Gets dispossessed. Here's Lal Sungswala. Still Lal Sungswala. And again, couldn't quite provide that piercing pass. That back line, whatever that has been thrown at them, has been very good so far. Yes, Fela, meanwhile, getting into the final third, gets it inside the box. Yes, still Fela. Leaves it for Gangte. And good defensive work from Jamshedpur FC.
Go to the ball, Mate. Roshan, ball. Strong. Stay strong. Stay strong.
As Jamshedpur, can they try and press it forward?
Ball.
As Alvin.
Good, Henry.
Again, not allowing that space to march forward. Full back doing his defensive duties. And again, Northeast United get hold of the possession far too easily.
Zahan, Gante cannot do both the jobs. If the ball is on your side, you become the 10, Gante becomes the striker. Gante cannot run everywhere, left and right. Yes, you have to drop between lines. Gante, got it? When the ball is on one side.
There's a man down for Jamshedpur and in need of some medical assistance. Looks like it's Sachin who's still down there. Got involved in that challenge with Henry. Gets a go from the medical staff there, Sachin Singh. A bit of a breather, an opportunity for both the coaches to throw in a quick word, get some instructions going.
Start, close, close.
Not been allowed to march forward with the ball there. Gopal Munda. Played 3 games in the final round. Northeast United FC won 2 of them, drawn 1 against Zinc Football Academy. Topped the table in the final round as well. Just lost 1 single game in the competition so far, and that was against Shillong Lejong long time back. Other than that, they have been a tough nut to crack. But here's Jamshedpur, meanwhile, decides to take a shot from the target and has made the goalkeeper work for the very first time. Lal Sungswala gets it away from Toiba Singh and struck that fiercely. And Rohan was put to scale for the very first time. And has done well. That was flying in for all money. It's a corner. Now Samzwala.
Now stay now, watch.
Hera was behind for another corner. This is much better from Jamshedpur FC now. They've sat back most of the 30 minutes. And that's what one good shot on the target can sometimes do. Get in that bit of a confidence that you're looking for. Can they provide that one quality ball? Satyajit Das, man, is being trusted with this one. It's going to be an in-swinger. Gets it inside and pushed out by Rohan. Still Jamshedpur enjoying a bit of a good spell here. And goes behind for a goal kick now. And here's Rohan. Mate has been seeing a lot of the ball along with Gangte in the middle of the park. There's Zahan. Was put up against Sana and sees it out for a throw-in. Still got about 12 minutes left in the regulation time, plus the stoppages to follow. Deadlock hasn't been broken yet. Here's Gangte now. Here's Gangte. Wishes it towards Gunleba. Was caught wrong foot there. Gunleba, gentle push towards Roshan. Roshan goes back towards Saurav Pradhan. Still Saurav. And switches towards the left. Didn't have the right option there. Here's Jamshedpur. A poor first touch. Toiba Singh does the clean-up job in the end. It's Roshan Chetri. Does well to get it towards Gunleba. Gunleba plays it down the line. Was anticipating Gangte to go get it. Takes a deflection of Gangte. Goes behind. That's going to be a goal kick for Ritabrata Sarkar. It's a delightful touch. Can they march forward? Couldn't quite hold on to his footing there. Sachin Singh, Henry. Brilliant defensive work from Northeast United. There's Roshan. Gives it away. Here's Jamshedpur. Roshan gets it back. And Toiba Singh, absolutely brilliant. It's Gunleba dropping in this time. Jamshedpur. There's Satyajit Gopal playing those crisp short passes. Has managed to get it out of that clutter. Here's Jamshedpur. Changing the monotony, goes it towards the right this time. Here's Sachin. Gets a chip. Here's Ralte. Gives it towards Gangte. Pushes it back towards Toiba. Here's Mate. Mate with a long ball forward towards Gunleba. Does well to get to the end of it. Here's Gunleba one-on-one against Satyajit. Gunleba does well. Squares it up inside. Leaves it short. The goal! What a strike that is! Absolutely brilliant. Gante gets on the score sheet. Northeast United FC 1-0. They've been knocking on the door right throughout the first half. And when the moment arrived, it was Gunleba who got the long ball. Did well, get it inside the box. And squares it up towards Gante. Ralte leaves it for Kante, who strikes up in the top corner.
Remember, defending corner, you're on post now, okay? First man, always, remember.
Will we have a repost from Jamshedpur?
You have to be 5 meters in front of the midfielder. Zahan, you're too deep.
Sticking to their passing lanes. Brilliantly anticipated. Here's Larsen Zwala again dropping in deep to try and create something from the middle of the park. And doubling up on the numbers and coming out with the ball. Here's Mate, releases early. Here's a touch and turn from Ralte. Back in total control now, Northeast United FC. There's Roshan. Was starting from an offside position there.
When we are pressing, the midfield line is here. You're front of them. Don't stay in line. You're the striker. 5 more. Yes. 5 meters in front.
Again, lifts one over. There's Mate once again. And the kind of work rate he has put in for the entirety of the 36 minutes has been absolutely marvelous.
Drop between the lines there.
Again, no takers for it. Jamshedpur slips. That's a bad slip. Goes for the goal and goes just over. That would have been. Well, here's a look at the strike from Kangte. Lalran Fela Ralte just letting it through for Kangte. To strike first time. And that's the reaction. The right one. Here's Jamshedpur. Here's Gopal Munda. And again, Roshan Chetri has put in a proper shift. Has been down there defending. Has tried to link up. And whenever his team has needed, he has stepped up to try and provide that attacking option in the final third. 6 minutes and a thick bit left. And Jamshedpur FC come back and get that equalizer in the first half.
Between the lines, Rohan, between the lines. Watch Gante. Yes, Zan, fight for it. Zan, fight. Rohan, Gante, between the lines. He's free always. Gante, it's you, Gante.
And here's Jamshedpur FC. Gets the cross in. How has that stayed out? That was the best possible chance for Jamshedpur FC to come back into the contest. Got the cross in. All they needed was a tap into the back of the net. Looks like somebody got a flick on there. I'm not quite sure if he should have been attacking for that ball. I'm quite sure he was definitely trying to get in there. Came off a white shirt in the end. There's Kangte again trying to switch it across and find Gunleba, who takes the first touch, one-on-one with Satyajit. Still Gunleba manages to get the cross and a good interception.
Press. Come back. Take Guleba's place. Follow the man behind you.
Pretty patiently done. Here's Jamshedpur trying to bring it towards the other side. Here's Lal Sangwala. Goes towards the right. Sachin not finding the right option. Ralte. There's Mate. Wins it back in the center of the park and trying to find Gunleba once again. But Satyajit Das had the head start, but still Gunleba is done brilliantly.
Gante, too far from the box.
There's Roshan. And still Roshan. Finds Saurav. Shubham for Henry. There's Gangte, the goal scorer. Mate once again switches it towards Ralte and puts a lot of weight behind that one. Still got 4 moments left in the first half.
Remember, when the ball is wide, watch the man on the outside.
Take fella's place. Gante.
Stay in block.
Haven't
Yes,
seen
Zan.
enough
Go
of
to the ball.
Zahan.
Go to the ball, Zan. Go to the ball. Gunleba, out. Hoiber, man.
He's charging from the back. Roshan Chetri gives away a foul in the process. Taken early. Here's Lal Sangwala.
Stronger. Zan, go.
Gets it towards Rayan. Here's Bayang Sana.
Too deep.
And that's what the point they've been trying to make
Too deep.
right since the last quarter. Zayan has been dropping a bit too deep for their liking. There's Sachin trying to get the cross in. Sort of patiently gets it towards Punya. Here's Henry.
No race.
Gangte, beg your pardon. The number 19. Shubham.
Go for it, Zan. Shift.
Here's Jamshedpur.
Don't commit.
Gets the ball inside the box.
Second ball, come on.
Second ball is the shout. Still Jamshedpur goes for the shot. Rayan and goes well over the target. It's Jamshedpur FC's bench. Here's Gangte.
Watch the midfield.
Here's Mate. Mate switches towards Fela. Yes, Fela has got options. Fela decides to go himself, and Rupabrata Sarkar, an easy pouch in the end for him. Again, Lal Sangzwala dropping in deep. Jamshedpur, can they try and bring it forward this time? And again, that final ball. Here's Gunleba, leashes, but way off target.
Positions, pressing position.
Here's Jamshedpur. This could be dangerous. Lal Sangzwala manages to get it towards Mars. Here's Mars one-on-one, decides to take the shot. Oh, that could have gone in. That could have so easily found the back of the net. You don't want to end up scoring one for the opponents. Shubham Punia would be one lucky man. Put his hands up straight away. It's a corner nevertheless for Jamshedpur FC. Can they provide that telling blow? We've got 2 minutes added on as stoppages. That is definitely going to change the half-time talks if this one goes in for Jamshedpur. We've had quite a few corners in the first half. Nothing tangible has come out of it. Will this be the moment? In swinger, targeted towards the back post, and the ball evades everyone. It's been an entertaining first half. That's the Jamshedpur FC bench. Here, Milan Savan, the goalkeeping coach, was on your screens.
You're 82, huh? 82. Go. Yes, Gunleba, go.
No half measures there, leaving nothing to chance. Just clear it out. Yes, Gunleba. 2v1 at the edge of the box. Rupabrata getting as Alvin once again trying to sweep it towards Sachin Singh. Just want to keep it simple in the final few seconds left in the stoppages. Northeast United. Here's Mate. Lobs that one in the air and finds Gunleba. Still Gunleba gets it inside the box, but no finders there. No red shirts. Here's Roshan Chetri.
Move the ball.
And there comes the end of the first half. Northeast United FC, courtesy a goal coming in from Gangte, lead this quarterfinal by a goal to nil. Still got a lot of time left in the game for Jamshedpur FC to try and make a comeback, but they have been the second best so far in the contest. And that's the halftime score line, 1-0. Started off pretty briskly for Northeast United. A couple of chances created inside the first 5 minutes. You see Gunleba is trying to set one up for Zahan. Was pretty much stationary there right in front of the target. Nothing tangible coming in from Jamshedpur FC. Got all the attacking prowess, all that can change in the second half. Here's Zahan. Couldn't quite get towards the end of it. I thought Brata Sarkar was pretty swift off his lines. This was a glorious moment. It was from a set piece, was very well worked out. And Shubham Punia got there but couldn't quite direct the ball towards the target. Here's Fela. Had the opportunity to go for the goal himself. Here's Gunleba. And again, he has been the go-to man for Northeast United. All the attacking threat, most of the attacking threat rather, has come from the right side of the pitch. There's Lal Sangzwala, the best moment of the game from Jamshedpur FC's perspective. Gets it away from Toiba Singh and goes for goal. And Rohan was put to task, probably the only time in the first half. Then this one, Fela lets it roll through for Kangte. And a brilliant strike. And that game gave them the all-important lead in the third quarter final. And this was a very good opportunity for Jamshedpur to try and get the game back to parity. And that could have so easily gone in. So that's the score line at the halfway mark. Northeast United FC leading this quarterfinal number 3 by a goal to nil. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the start of the second half. But before that is a quick match summary of how the game has panned out in the first set of 45 minutes. Almost even Stevens in terms of the ball possession. 5 shots on target for Northeast United FC and 3 for Jamshedpur. No substitutes. 5 tackles to 3 in favor of Northeast United. 4 corners Jamshedpur FC managed, but nothing substantial coming out from them. No offsides in the game. We should be back in about 10 minutes for the start of what could be a very good second half coming our way. Do stay with us. Welcome or welcome back to all the viewers who've tuned in. Third quarter final on a very pleasant Friday morning here. Northeast United FC are in the driver's seat after having scored that opening goal in the first half, courtesy Kangte. Will Jamshedpur FC try and make a comeback into the contest? They nearly did in the first half. Had a couple of very good opportunities. Couldn't quite find the back of the net. They've got all the attacking prowess they need. Still have to try and get the likes of Lal Sangzwala, Hiranga, Sachin on the ball as much as they possibly can. We haven't seen that sort of link up between the back line, the midfield, and those playing up the pitch. And off we go for the start of the second half. Northeast United going from right to left on your screens. Utilize the flanks quite well in the first set of 45 have Northeast United FC, and that is something you haven't seen from Jamshedpur. Gunleba in particular operating more from the right and was well supported. And here's Jamshedpur plays it nice and low, strikes the first time, and there's got it in! That's the sort of response you were looking for, and right at the start of the first half, Lal Sangzwala getting on the score sheet and getting this game back to parity. What a start to the second half here. And everybody is off the bench for Jamshedpur. And who else but that man once again? Lal Sangzwala, number 89. Has done it on quite a few occasions for the boys in white. Won the ball back and we're having a go at each other. Is kicking it off here. And the referee was pretty swift to reach out. Let's try and calming things down there. It was Mate. It's going to be a yellow card for the Northeast United skipper. He's trying to calm things down here. He'll have to be careful. He's run the show in the middle of the park for his side. It's a very important game you're playing. Let's try and calm those emotions down a little bit. Still wait for the ref signal to get things moving. There's Roshan. Kangte, the goal scorer for Northeast United. Stuck to the back three right throughout. Again, managed to nick the ball. Gets it back from Lal Sangzwala. Here's Sachin Singh. One-on-one on the right. Couldn't quite get past Henry. Goes down to the ground. And hurled away. Swabrata just gets it back to safety. It's going to make a very exciting last 40 minutes after that goal went in from Jamshedpur. There's Fela, twisting and turning, and still manages to keep the ball, trying a swift 1-2 with Thoiba Singh. Have to switch on here pretty swiftly. Northeast United caught off guard a bit with the start of the second half and were punished quite magnificently by Jamshedpur. Kangte not being allowed that space to unleash the trigger. And here's Mate. Comes off his lines and pouches that one pretty safely in the end. Mita Brata takes it in the chest, and there's been one live prospect from the right flank. The crossing has been fantastic. They've picked out the right pass every time they've tried their options going forward. With Gunleba from the right, Fela from the left. Zahan has stayed in the center. Here's Jamshedpur meanwhile on the other side. Goes back. And pretty easily done by Northeast United. He's been held in his tracks there. He's been forced to sit towards the left. Here's Shubham Punya. Trying to go for the second ball there. Here's Sachin Singh. Can he go all the way? Takes a shot. Oh my word. That was a glorious opportunity. He was unchallenged. All he had to do was give the ball some direction. Alvin Ishan, the man, puts it wide of the target. And there you see, hand on head for the number 79 there. There have been a couple of huge let-offs, both in the first half as well as in the second. Here's Fela. Still Fela strikes the first time, but straight towards the goalkeeper. There's action on both sides of the pitch now. And that goal has given a lot of confidence for Jamshedpur FC and Northeast United. Not going to hold behind. Showing his physicality there, winning the ball back, driving forward, and again that pass not being decisive enough. Here's Saurav for Gangte. Gangte gets himself into a position where he can operate from. One back by Lal Sungswala. Lal Sungswala finds 79, has got Sachin towards the right, and puts it behind for another corner. It's Hirangama, Lal Sungswala and Sachin Singh, the front three.
Stay with your man. Zahan.
Still haven't seen enough from Zahan in this game, barring the first 5 minutes.
Attack the
Lam
ball.
Sungswala,
Punya. Attack the ball.
he has his targets pretty clear. Decides to go towards the back post. Evades everyone. And that's going to stand as a goal kick for Northeast United.
Gangte. When you're marking him, don't mark him on the behind. Mark him in front. We spoke about this.
Right, 54 minutes into the contest. The scoreline reads 1-1. Northeast United FC scoring in the first half, and that was cancelled out in the second by Lal Sangzwala. Again, switching the play towards Sachin Singh. Don't let him turn was the shout, and there you have it. Making him hear the anguish from the touchline there. What happened right in front of your eyes was a shout. But here's Shubham Punya, who's been asked to wait. Go back to the position of infringement. It's given away far too cheaply. Here's Jamshedpur. Lal Sangzwala, a lot of space in front of him. Oh my word. He had all the time in the world to try and pick out a spot there. Has that taken deflection? It looks like it has. It's gone out for another corner. It's been a bit sloppy in the back line from Northeast United FC. Once the pressure has been exerted by Jamshedpur FC, they have fallen apart slightly. Good thing from their perspective is they haven't conceded, because there have been quite a few very good opportunities for Jamshedpur to try and take this game far and far away. There's Satyajit Das goes back. There's Shubham. Didn't get on the right side of pace behind the ball. Here's Rohan going long. There's Fela. He comes second this time to Shomik Das. Jamshedpur FC, for sure, the second half they've taken the template out of Northeast United FC, the way they approached the first half. It was the action on one side of the pitch. Still waiting for Northeast United to come forward in the second set of 45. Playing a high line here are Northeast United. Again, pretty sloppy. Here's Jamshedpur FC marching forward once again. Inside the box, cut back, a chance now. Oh! That's a huge let off once again. You can hear the sounds of anguish, and rightly so. This is the goal scorer, Lal Sangzwala. It was into an open net. He had all the time in the world. Losing count of the opportunities they have had in the second half. There's been 3, and all those coming from some defensive errors by Northeast. Here's Fela. Meanwhile, you have to score when you're on top, and at the moment, Jamshedpur FC will have to try and keep their calm. And takes a touch, turns, switches it pretty swiftly. Somay Soren overruns it. Here's Mate. And trying to find Fela. And takes a decent touch. The defense is right up there in Shomik Das. Puts it behind. There's Dalsungzwala. You can see the spur in the strides of Jamshedpur FC now. They've grown in confidence. They've had quite a few shots on the target. Has missed out a couple of sitters. There's another cross coming in. Still, we haven't seen enough of play coming out from those flanks. After an hour mark, the scoreline still reading 1-1 in Jamshedpur had quite a few opportunities to go on top in the game. They would be absolutely gutted if the result doesn't go their way. Played the semi-final of the RFDL this year. Went down in that game. Then went on to lose the third place playoff as well. And this is something they want to get it absolutely right this time around. It's a free kick for Jamshedpur. As here's Shomik Das. He's looking for a better option, decides to go down the line. Here's Hirangma, Sachin, back with Shomik. Shomik wasn't allowed any space to move forward. There's Ripabrata. That is something they've done right throughout. Try to play out from the back and then try to find the pass. Hasn't been the bestest of ploys at times. Again, under pressure was Shubham Punia there. Right, Hirangma wasn't allowed to turn on that occasion. And most of the chances have come down from the defensive errors of Northeast United. And that is something they'll have to try and fix as soon as possible. The boys in red. Here's Sachin. Finds an option in Somik. Back with Sachin. Still Sachin. Gets it inside the box. Gets the cross. And the goalkeeper latches onto it before the ball found the white shirt. Here's Northeast United meanwhile. Kunleba could only toe poke it towards Ripabrata. It's going to be action from one end to the other. They'll have to try and dig those reserve tanks. It's a very important fixture. It's a quarter-final. And both these teams are giving it everything they've got. There's Fela. Gangte robbed off the ball there. Man on was a shout and gets dispossessed. There's Mate. Finds Toiba. A good one-on-one with Gangte there. Back with Toiba. Mate with some space to work with. Chops it towards number 5. Manson Luanga has been introduced in the second half. Has taken the position from Gunleba, who's operated more from the right flank right throughout these 60 minutes.
the block.
Hang Sena. Right, here's Sachin. Was trying to ease Sachin off the ball there. Fela. There's Jamshedpur. They've got three options around the box there. Still Jamshedpur just outside the edge of the box. He turns and shoots straight towards Rohan. Hangs onto it pretty safely in the end. Malsam Luanga ends up conceding the possession away. Still hustling, still fighting for it, and gets the ball back eventually. Here's Gunleba, takes it and sets it up for Gante, who strikes it first time and goes just over the target. And again, a lot of space in front of him. The option was right to try and pick out a spot. Everything was right except a few inches. That would have been a very well worked out goal. A sheer persistence from Malsam Luanga. There have been chances on both sides of the pitch.
Roshan, come inside.
A long ball forward. Finds Sachin Singh, who does brilliantly to keep the ball in. Sachin takes it, turns. Again, concedes the possession. They've got Hansing in. And again, second half introduction. Is again taken away by Jamshedpur, who plays it forward towards Lalsam Zwala. Lalsam Zwala has a couple of options to pick out, and shot, the lob gets blocked right in front of him. There's going to be another corner for Jamshedpur FC. Corners have kept coming in thick and fast for the boys in white. Have a couple of absolute sitters that they could have managed to put into the back of the net. Jamshedpur FC. Both the sides have had brilliant respective campaigns. Finished right on top of the table in the group stage as well as in the final round. Northeast United FC. Jamshedpur FC had to play one phase extra in Swinger. As close as it could have got. And Satyajit Das lobs it in the air. Takes a touch, strikes. Oh my word! They have come from behind to take the lead here. It's Jamshedpur FC. Ayan Sada gets on the score sheet. And they get that deserved lead. Absolutely brilliant. They've been allowed a lot of time and space on the ball, especially in the second half. Northeast United have been lucky to have not conceded. But then when the moment arrived, had all the time in the world, takes a decent touch and strikes it towards the right of Rohan. Might have taken something on the way through. Looks like it has, because it almost took the goalkeeper by surprise there. And that celebration just rounds it off perfectly. A brilliant Jamshedpur FC side, but still not over yet. Still got a lot of time left in the contest. It's going to live out there. And here's Jamshedpur. It's a slender lead, but that should be enough for them to give some sort of confidence. You could definitely see a spur in the strides after they got that first goal. That just made them keep coming forward. Played like a very good, well-rounded attacking unit. There's Jamshedpur. He takes the touch in the middle of the park, getting into the final third. Was under pressure from behind. There goes the whistle against Mate, who's already on a yellow card. Has to be a bit careful. And there you have it. There's a tug, a pull on Lal Songzwala. Who's it going to be behind this one?
Same mark. Mate, Toiba. Keep your mark.
Lal Songzwala strikes it. Second ball was definitely an option there. Rohan gets himself behind. Again going for goal. Backtracking. Does well to hold on to it. It's a sustained pressure coming in from the boys in white here. The second half has been completely theirs. There's been one dominant performance from Jamshedpur FC. Of course, goes without saying, there's been quite a few defensive errors in the second half from Northeast United FC's perspective. A very happy bunch. They've still got about 19 minutes left, plus the stoppages. Do they have enough? Jamshedpur, from their perspective, the way the game has panned out in the second set of 45, they would want to make sure they score one more and try this game far and far away from Northeast United FC's reach. And still not discounting the attacking prowess Northeast has. Likes of Gunleba, Lalran Fela, they can turn the tide at any given moment in the game. Malsung Kangte was played into the stride of Fela there. A bit more weight behind that one. And trying to keep hold of the ball, trying to play out from the back. Here's Ripaprata. Switch to back to when in possession. So very short strategy in the second half. Again, that hunger to try and win the ball back as soon as they lose out on the possession. Jamshedpur has been a completely different side in the second half, especially the way they are moving, getting themselves into the positions from where they can affect the game. More of the ball movement has been there. Here's Northeast United, meanwhile, through Gangte, trying to get it towards Fela. Here's Saurav. Mate chips it forward. Takes a decent first touch. Here comes Northeast United. Falls for Mate, who strikes it the first time. Gets in a clearance. And here's Jamshedpur now. Can they try and bring it forward? Keep that pressure on that back line. It's going to be a water break.
Roshan. Come. Quick.
You see, Kaizad number Pardiwala, the assistant coach of this side, was the head coach of the Jamshedpur FC side that played in the RFDL this year. Has been the deputy to Shakti Singh in this contest. Is Mihir Milind Sawant, the goalkeeping coach. Pretty animated, throwing those instructions for the final 15 minutes. That could be pretty decisive in their journey further on in the competition. Two very solid sides. Now a couple of very good games played the other day from the number of goals perspective. AIFF FIFA Talent Academy versus Mohun Bagan Supergiant. It was a completely one-sided affair as AIFF FIFA Talent Academy putting 5 past Mohun Bagan. In the second quarter-final, Bengal Football Academy losing out to Punjab FC. The fourth quarter-final will be played at 3:30 p.m. today. It's a double header. Muthoot FA will be taking on FC Madras. And that also promises to be a very exciting clash. Here's Jamshedpur FC. Meanwhile, another attacking threat. Strikes it pretty clean in the end. But straight towards Rohan, who's been put to scale on numerous occasions in the second half. Have to up the ante now. Northeast United. Haven't seen enough of them in the last 15-20 minutes or so. First and foremost, they'll have to try and get the communication right in the back line. And again, getting dispossessed. Here's Jamshedpur. Lal Sangzwala picks it up, switches it towards Sachin Singh. And Sachin lays it off for Lal Sangzwala. Continues with the run. Doesn't find an option there. Is pushed back towards Shomik Das. It's Agyasana. There's Hang Singh. Shubham Punya and decides to go long and forward. Comes off a white shirt. Haven't seen Gunleba being fed with enough balls in the second half. Chances have been far and few from their perspective. And that is something that's got to change pretty swiftly for Northeast United. Here's Toiba Singh. Picks it up. Here's Ralte. Still Ralte. Makes room. Goes for the goal and goes well over. Much better. Northeast United FC to try and get themselves something back. It has to come from the likes of Gunleba or Ralte. And head up, picks out a pass. Pretty easy movement from Jamshedpur FC's perspective. Again, tumbling up on the numbers towards the flank. Lal Sangzwala Shifts it wide towards the left. Decent defensive work there. Here's Mate, and again gives the possession away. Luckily, Jamshedpur FC couldn't quite win the ball back. Here's Mate. Finds Fela. Here's Fela, one-on-one inside the box. Here's Hang Sing. Squares it towards the edge of the box. Here's Gante, strikes and goes just wide of the target. They're coming close again. They've taken a couple of good shots towards the target. There's Mate again. Mate. Thoiba. It's a wasted opportunity. That's
Roshan, remember, it's a 3. 3.
was coming in from the touchline there. Wasn't under pressure. Try and pick out a pass. Take your time on the ball. You want under pressure. Here's Thoiba. Again trying to work it forward. Here's Mate. Mate marching forward. Lays it off towards the right and finds Gunleba. Takes a touch. Pushes it back towards Mate, who tries to turn it in. In fact, went placing it. Satyajit Das, meanwhile, is going down on the ground. It's been closely monitored by the ref, Mayank Pandey, who's had a very good game. And out comes Aditya Kumar for a quick inspection. At 8 minutes to go, and time is running out for Northeast United FC. It's a corner. There's Fela. Still Fela, who gets the cross. An opportunity towards the back post, and just before Shubham Punia gets something, it looks like he has got something on it. Pretty swiftly was attacking. Looks like the ball hung in the air and fell on his left foot in the end.
Aggressive, Tulunga, be more aggressive. Find your man. Good, Roshan.
Gunleba seeing more of the ball in the last few minutes. Has managed to take a shot on the target. It's another corner. Hansing takes his position on top of his mark. Can this be the moment? Hansing targets the back post. Shubham Munda was charging in. Here's Thoiba. Still Thoiba Singh. Keeps it in. Here's Mate. And Jamshedpur FC gets it out of danger. There's Roshan. Pushes it forward. and allows that time for Jamshedpur FC to settle themselves. It's been a very intriguing contest between these two sides. Here's Jamshedpur FC. Lal Sungzwala pushes it forward for Sachin Singh. And Saurav Fela was dropped in deep. Here's Toiba Singh. Here's Kangte, the goal scorer in the first half. Roshan Chetri has shifted more to his centre-back position. Here's Fela, who's done brilliantly. And again, some very good defensive work by Jamshedpur FC. Here's Shomik Das this time. 5 minutes plus the stoppages is what remains in the second half. It's been a game of two halves for these sides. It was a very good performance in the first set of 45 by Northeast United FC. Though Jamshedpur came close to striking. Takes the deflection on his way through. Here's Jamshedpur FC now marching forward. Has got an option towards his right in Lal Sungzwala. Decides to go through on the left. Was anticipating a run coming in from that side. Wasn't the case to be in the end. Jamshedpur FC's perspective, they want to make sure they score the next one and just put this game to bed. And it's going to be all about the game management from here on with 4 minutes and a thick bit to be played. Can they hold on to it is a big question. It's a change for Jamshedpur. Devjit Majumdar is going to come on in place of Hirangba. A tactical change, a forward player has been taken out and will be replaced by a defensive player. Just want to make sure they try and strengthen their defensive unit. It's all about guarding that lead they have managed to get. Right. I'm taking all their sweet time in the world. Jamshedpur FC now. Keeps it short. There's Shomik Das. Piles one inside. And goes back towards Shomik Das. Here's Gunleba. Yes, dispossessed and was hurled out of the play. Here's Shubham. For 2 minutes. Plus the stoppages to see through for Jamshedpur. Back with Shubham. Sachin trying to close him down. Toiba Singh drops him deep. And Saurav with a long ball and a wasted opportunity. There's Jamshedpur trying to launch one in the air. Again, outnumbered in the middle of the park. Here's Jamshedpur trying to pick out a pass towards the far left. Got the run coming in. Here comes Jamshedpur up once again. He's got 3 options waiting inside the box. Leaves it for Sachin Singh. Takes a touch. Switches towards the number 91. And very good clearance. Very good challenge from Hunt Singh. On the edge of their seats there was Devajit Majumdar, who's just made his presence a couple of minutes back, was into action. It's a corner. Just got a few seconds left in the normal time, plus the stoppages to follow. How many minutes will be added on? It's going to be all about keeping the ball from Jamshedpur FC's perspective. Targets the near post. There's Larsen Zwala. Pushed back. Trying to get inside the box, cleared away by Mate. Still with Jamshedpur FC. Plays it down the line and finds a wide shirt there. Then again, have got 4 options waiting inside. 6 now. Takes a shot on target and goes wide of the goal there. That could have been game, set and match for Jamshedpur FC. And goes across the face of the goal there. They all got pretty excited. They thought that had gone in. Here's Fela, finds Hang Singh. Still Hang Singh. That's brilliant defensive work by Jamshedpur FC in the dying embers of the game. Ryan Sana is the man down. And out comes Aditya Kumar once again. Not a happy sighting to be taken out in that fashion. Seems to be in some serious pain there by his facial expressions. Here's Mate. Wasn't in the position to get it back. Shubham sweeps it forward towards Hang Singh, who does well to get to the end of it. Here's Hang Singh with a cross. And goes well behind, well over Malsam Luanga. This was very good defensive work from Shaumik Das. There's Ripabrata Sarkar, who hasn't had much to do in the second half. There's Northeast United. Again, not being allowed to move forward, being closed down really well, but has done well to get it out of that clutter. Brilliant footwork, but then outnumbered. There's Shubham. They have no option but to commit bodies forward now. Still in possession. Here's Mate. He's had a very good chance in the second half. Here's Fela. On Singh. Back with Mate. Shifted himself into the middle of the park. Saurav finds Hang Singh once again. Try and switch it towards the right side. Draws in a clearance from Jamshedpur. The ball finds Shubham Punia once again. Here's Saurav Pradhan. Henry launches one in the air and finds Fela. And very good defensive work once again. Puts it behind for a corner, leaving nothing to chance. Did well to get it in between the defense. So that pairing of Shomik Das and Rayan. It's a corner. Right. Is Northeast United dying embers of the stoppages. Back post swept away by the goalkeeper. Still in play. Oh, that has hit the crossbar. That has hit the crossbar. That was the moment. And there comes the final whistle. Agony for one side, ecstasy for the other. Jamshedpur FC have come from behind to take the lead and eventually win this game. They march through to the next round, the semi-finals of the competition. And an ebullient side. It's been a game of two halves for these sides. The first half was dominated by the boys in red. Then in the second half, Lal Sangzwala got them the lead, got them the equalizer. Nagyasan got them the lead. There were quite a few opportunities presented right through the second half. They couldn't quite convert. And Northeast United, for all the hard work done in the first set of 45, finds themselves on the wrong side of the results. Jamshedpur FC make their way through to the semi-final. This is the second semi-final they'll be playing in as many months. All the hard work done in the RFDL, played a semi-final there. Lost out to a very solid Classic FA side. And here they are once again. Who will they face is a big question. Will it be Muthoot FA or will it be FC Madras? And all those questions will be answered at the 3:30 p.m. kickoff. Quarterfinal number 4 will be live at that time. So that's the full-time results from the Indira Gandhi Athletic Stadium here in Guwahati, Assam. Before we could move further, this is how the full-time match summary looks like in terms of the stats. 59% of the ball enjoyed by Jamshedpur FC, most of it coming in the second half. 11 shots on target. They were one attacking side, especially in the second set of 45 compared to 6 by Northeast United FC. 10 tackles to 8, all in favor of Jamshedpur FC. 9 corners to Jamshedpur and 5 to Northeast United FC. And we were guilty of being flagged offside once, Northeast United. And before we let you go, this is how the game panned out. Gunleba trying to set up Mohammad Zahan there. He was pretty stationary, sort of wrong-footed right in front of the target. Couldn't quite get to the end of the ball. And it's been one promising show from Jamshedpur FC. Defensively, as well as attacking-wise. As many as 10 corners in the game that they managed. And this was Zahan. Safely passed in the end. Lal Sangzwala had a very decent game. It was him who got them back into the contest. This was a very good setup by Roshan Chetri. And Shubham Punya got to the end of it, made that dash inside the box, but couldn't quite direct the ball goalwards. Is Gunleba striking from outside the box. It was Ralte, beg your pardon, who chanced his effort from way out. And that was some competition between those two, Henry and Sachin Singh. And that was the first attempt from Lal Sangzwala and Jamshedpur FC in the first half. Was put to measure for the very first time. Rohan was a very good save in the end. And this was the moment for Northeast United FC. Gangte pulling the trigger. It was a lovely layoff and well left by Fela. Gangte making sure he strikes it the first time and finds the target. And Jamshedpur FC on the repost came pretty close. It was a cross. Had no takers. And this could have gone in the very next minute. Take something from Shubham Punya, but luckily in the end, hit the crossbar. And then this one, Lal Sangzwala, the goal scorer, and couldn't quite convert. It was a very good run from Gunleba. Has been a live wire right throughout the competition. Then Gangte could have had a brace. Had a lot of time, but couldn't quite provide the sort of direction that ball would have ideally liked. And this one takes the deflection off and went in. It was Lal Sangzwala who strikes. Comes off Hayang Sana. Kicked off between those two, and from the spot, from the free kick, making Rohan work once again. It was a busy second half for the Northeast United goalkeeper, Gunleba. Lobbed that one in the air. It hung in for a while. It was a very well coordinated effort by Jamshedpur FC boys. Tried to place it in. Mate. Devajit, who came on in the dying embers of the second half.